Hello, real estate family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope, pray, and trust this finds you doing well, in good health, and always in good, positive spirits. Today, I want to talk very briefly about contractors, general contractors, maintenance workers, maintenance and repair workers for rental properties, and how the little things affect the big things. If you're in real estate, if you're a real estate agent or a broker or a property manager or a landlord or a real estate investor, if you have rental properties that either you are managing and maintaining yourself, or perhaps you have hired someone to do this for you, then you know how important it is to have a good, solid team of workers in your real estate portfolio or in your Rolodex, to use one of the old school terms. Particularly for landlords, real estate investors, property managers, and those who are involved in the day-to-day operations or maintenance and repair of properties. It's very important to make sure that the property is, number one, cash flowing, right? And keeping it in good working order, safe and compliant for the tenants. Many of us know that in the current times that we're in, we have labor shortages, we have material shortages, we're still in the COVID, coming out of the severe stages of the COVID pandemics, but we're still in end stages, and hopefully the final, soon-to-be ending stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we've suffered a lot of labor shortages, material shortages, and it has become somewhat increasingly challenging to find good, solid workers, right? And when you find a good general contractor or maintenance and repair technician who is in high demand, then he or she may tend to get very busy or spread very thin due to all of the work assignments and projects that they may be working on. And then all of a sudden, you may find yourself being ghosted, right? Wow, like that really happens? Ghosted. Because all of a sudden they're very busy. They're so busy that they no longer have time for you anymore. Or maybe they're spreading themselves very thin and they can't keep up with the workload. And then they're unable to finish a lot of the work projects that they've been assigned to or that they have started. And so you have a lot of incomplete projects and repair items that are outstanding. They may leave a lot of unfinished projects, or the work may begin to suffer. You may notice that some of the work is sloppy, or it's becomes substandard or of a subpar quality, and that affects your bottom line. So when you see things trickling downward, or perhaps they're going in a downward trajectory, you want to have a good, honest conversation with them to find out what's going on. You know, are they overloaded? Are they overworked? If they feel that they're underpaid, or maybe they're simply overbooked, or just no longer available or interested. Now, what if you're in a situation where you have workers on your team that are there, they're there for you when you need them, but again, some of the work has become questionable. Or you may have workers who only want the big paying jobs and they ghost you on the smaller jobs. So you don't get a response when you reach out with particular assignments or projects because they've gotten so high in demand or so big that they no longer want the smaller paying jobs, but they only want the high end paying jobs or the bigger projects that will bring in more income. And that's okay. If they have a certain area that they specialize in, or they have specific skills, licensing, or certifications, or certain areas that they only want to focus on or work in, that's fine. I say go for it. If that's their area of expertise, or their particular niche, then by all means, go for it. Have at it, right? I believe in supporting our independent contractors. I'm all about supporting entrepreneurs and independent contractors because, we work very hard and a lot of times for little pay, or we have to wait until the job is done for payment and compensation. Especially if you are a real estate broker or real estate agent who's on full commission, then you know that we don't get paid until there's a closing. So we may have to wait several weeks, months at a time before there's a commission check. So I definitely support our entrepreneurs and small business owners. And of course, as an entrepreneur and small business owner myself, I obviously want to support other entrepreneurs and small businesses, and those that are community-based, minority-owned, woman-owned, and veteran-owned. And to all of the veterans and military service people, I salute you, and I honor you, and I thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Now, getting back to the entrepreneurs and small business owners and independent contractors, those who are working on maintenance and repair of properties. And for those who are new to this area, if you are working in that capacity, and let's say you're working for a property manager or for a landlord, then you may be considered an independent contractor, depending on how you have structured your business, your LLC entity, and how you are getting paid. Most independent contractors are not considered employees. You are considered self-employed. And so if you are receiving a Form 1099 at the end of the year, then that is for self-employed independent contractors for tax reporting purposes. What I don't like to see is when contractors only want the $1 million jobs. If they signed up initially for maintenance and repair of properties and indicated that they are able to complete all a variety of tasks from the small, medium to large, and then all of a sudden they flip the script on you. Now they only want the big projects, the big money deals. Or they only respond to the larger projects and the bigger payouts. But if they haven't been successful with the smaller jobs, then that presents a problem. All right, so let's say they only want the big projects, but they haven't proven themselves with the smaller projects or with the smaller jobs. Does that make sense? How can someone be trusted with a large project if they can't be trusted with a small project? Right? I mean, how can you give them a $10,000 job and they haven't proven themselves on a $10 job or a $100 job or whatever? So again, with this, I'm reminded of the Bible verse and the scripture in the book of Luke for our Bible scholars out there. Luke chapter 16, verses 10 through 12. If I have my Bible scholars out there with me, essentially this passage in the Bible says that if someone is faithful in the little things, then they will be faithful or trustworthy in the bigger things. And if they are dishonest or untrustworthy in the little things, then they will be dishonest and untrustworthy in the big things. Therefore, if they cannot be trusted to properly handle another person's property or wealth, then who will grant them their own property or entrust them with their own property? Right? Again, if they cannot be trusted to properly handle another person's property or wealth, or with the small things, then who will grant them their own property and entrust them with larger things and entrust them with their own property? Again, Luke 16, verses 10 through 12. So again, as with this passage, we're talking about trust, right? We're talking about trust. Entrusting someone with your property and your wealth. And is not real estate a part of wealth? A part of wealth building strategies and a wealth building portfolio? Is that not what real estate is all about in the larger scheme of things? Real estate is about building wealth, building a financial portfolio. So when someone entrusts you with their real estate, they are trusting you with their wealth, their money, their finances. And so it behooves us to take good care of it, right? For me, when I take on properties for my clients, I take care of them like they're my own. In other words, how would I treat my own properties? Right? I care about my properties, so I care about their properties. If it's an investment or rental property, how do I get it to cash flow and keep it cash flowing? How do I properly maintain and manage it without breaking the bank? Implementing cost-saving strategies and making sure that the tenants are happy and keeping the asset performing and producing. After all, it is an asset. And so it should be a performing asset, meaning it needs to generate revenue and add to the bottom line. So we need maintenance and repair technicians to help keep it flowing, to keep it maintained and in compliance. Because it will either be a money maker or a money pit. And we do not want the latter, right? However, if a contractor can't do a good job with a $200 repair, then how are we to trust them with a $2,000 repair or a $20,000 job? Right? Going back to the Bible verse, Luke chapter 16, verses 10 through 12, if they're not trustworthy with the little things, then they will be untrustworthy with the bigger things. And sometimes we have clients that will test us, right? I mean, they'll give you something small to see how you do. And if you do well with that, then they'll move on and give you something else or give you something a little larger and give you a little more. And once you pass the test, you graduate. And then you move to another level. And then they'll come back to you and it'll be a repeat customer, repeat business, referrals. If they like what you do and you do a good job, they keep you on board, right? But if you can't be trusted with the little things, then you can't be trusted with the big things. It's the little things that mean a lot. So, what are the little things? Well, let's take a look. Little things can be something as simple as broken doorbell that doesn't work, broken doorknob, or a broken window, or something where the cost is very minimal, but it needs to be done. It needs to be repaired. It needs to be fixed. It can be something very little or very minor, such as picking up trash in the yard, keeping the yard clean, keeping the grounds clean, free of debris, trash, litter, keeping the yard and the grounds clean in between the grass cuts. Or it can be something as simple as checking the smoke detectors, checking the fire extinguishers, making sure they're properly working and up to code. I mean, these things are important. And they're also considered fire and safety hazards if not properly maintained and checked. Take, for example, the smoke detector. It takes a few seconds to check it, and they should be checked every month. We tell our tenants to check them monthly for their own safety and well-being. And if something is not working, then report to the office, and we'll send maintenance out to check it out and replace any defective non-working unit. It only takes a few seconds to push the button, right? Test the smoke and carbon detectors. And if they had to be replaced, then, if they're not hardwired into the building, then the cost is very minimal, right? It's usually somewhere, between $50 and $100 to purchase and install. And how much time does it take to do it? Maybe 20, 30 minutes or less. But it has to be done. This is something that has to be done. So you have to have someone who cares about these little things and someone who takes pride in their work to do a good job with these things and to make sure that they're done in a decent, proper, and timely manner. Because again, time is of the essence. Other little things can involve windows and window latches. Making sure that windows open and close properly. If not, it's another fire and safety hazard and code compliance issue. So if we have our maintenance workers and they're in painting units, We do a safety check, quality control check, make sure that when they're done, that they haven't accidentally painted the window shut, because the windows all have to open and close properly. If you have older properties that were built, around the early to mid 1900s, a lot of them have original windows with the wood panes, and sometimes those get accidentally painted shut. So we do our quality control check, make sure that the windows open and close properly, make sure the light switches, nothing was accidentally painted and it stuck. These are little things, little details, but they have to get done if you're going to operate at a certain level. Another item is making sure that the handrails are secure and that they're the right size, shape, and length. Or you might say, well, aren't all handrails the same? I mean, they're all round, longitude, and shape, tubular shape. Yeah, you would think so. But I've actually seen a square and a rectangular shaped handrail in a property. It was a wooden handrail, and it had very sharp edges, square shaped. It was hard to grab, hard to hold on to. It was not the right size or length. It extended beyond the normal grabbing area and potentially could cause injury to someone. So it did not pass inspection. Now you might be thinking, this is ridiculous, right? Sounds stupid, right? But these are the little things that can result in a code violation for a property owner. If an inspector goes through a property or someone is injured, these little things can add up to a lot. And they also present safety issues for the residents. So safety is number one. We want to make sure we're doing things correct and properly. So again, these little things, they mean a lot. And they can add up to a lot of money if not addressed properly, correctly, and in a timely manner. We've all seen situations where a small plumbing leak left unchecked or unresolved can lead to major water damage, or a large repair bill, or a large water bill. Or, for example, the task of cleaning out gutters and proper landscaping around the perimeter of our house, if left unchecked, can lead to major water issues and cause basement and foundation issues. So would you rather spend a few $100s to clean out the gutters and do some landscaping and grading around the house? Or would you rather spend several $1,000s, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to fix the basement walls, foundation, mold remediation, and such in the basement? Take your choice, pick one. So we obviously want to be proactive and take care of these little things before they lead to larger, big things. But sometimes we inherit larger problems, or we come in the middle of something that was already there, that was already in play before we came on board, and now we're the new landlord or the new property manager or the new agent or whatever, and we show up on the scene. We're in the middle of a big mess, but hey, we're here now. We're here to help. We're here to help resolve the matter, and we're going to try to make it better for everyone. We always let them know that we want to try to work with everyone in a positive, respectful manner to try to relieve the stress and get the situation resolved. So in that case, we want serious, hardworking, honest, trustworthy, dedicated workers on our team. Someone who takes pride in their work, who cares about their work, who cares about the people and the communities that they serve. Now, it doesn't matter, what you do, what your task is, what your role is. If you're in housekeeping, do a good job. Be the best housekeeper, or be the best that you can be. Right? It doesn't matter what level you're at. Just do your best. Be the best that you can be. I remember my minister, the late great Dr. Charles Evans. May he rest in peace. God rest his soul. But he used to say, back in the day, and he was real old school, but he used to say, listen, if you're a dishwasher, be the best dishwasher you can be, right? I mean, because he came from the ground up, from the bottom up, and went as far as he could go in education with bachelor's, master's, and doctor's degree, and uh, in ministry degrees as well. So I learned so much from him. He was a big mentor in my life, and I always remember him saying, listen, if you're going to be a dishwasher, be the best dishwasher you can be, right? So, in other words, it doesn't matter what work you are doing. You should take pride in your work and let your work speak for itself. Actions speak much louder than words, right? So if you're in property preservation, if you're in maintenance, repairs, contracting, whatever you're doing, if you're the cleaner, be the best cleaner in the whole wide world. Because that's very important, especially when it comes to turning over the units and doing the sales clean for our showings. It's important to have a clean property to show to the prospective renters and buyers, right? If you're the door person, be the best gosh darn door person in the whole world. If you're the greeter at an open house, be the best greeter in the whole world. If you're a painter, be the best painter in the whole world this side of Dixie. All right? Whatever your specialty is, your passion, your niche, your talent, be the best at what you do. And it will show, and you will be very, very successful. Not to mention very happy. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, as I wrap things up and bring this session to a close, I want to thank you again for tuning in to this session, talking about the little things, because the little things do matter. They mean a lot. The little things mean a lot. So thanks for tuning in, folks, and I hope this has inspired someone to level up and take their game to a new level, new heights, because, hey, the sky's the limit. And we seek to educate and empower all of our listeners. Thank you again for tuning in. I want to thank you for your support. Thank those for your leadership and vision, and thank you again for tuning in. May you be blessed with good health and prosperity, and have a wonderful and an awesome day. Until next time, God bless.